It's time to get real. Hey guys, welcome back to Confessions of a Girl Boss. My name is Chrissy and I'm here to give you the confidence and tools you need to help you launch your online business and thrive. Today, I'm getting honest with you guys and I'm sharing my 5 biggest mistakes I made when I was running my planner sticker shop. It's not very often that people get super candid and share their mistakes that they made, especially when running their business, but it's so important to be able to reflect and learn from your past that I found it kind of therapeutic to go through this list, honestly. If you like these types of videos and you haven't already, be sure to hit that red button down below and subscribe. I make new videos every week all about turning your passion into your business. Okay, let's just jump into it. So the first mistake that I made, in my opinion, is I launched too fast. And I know a lot of people say launch before you're ready, start before you're ready, but honestly, I feel like it did me a disservice. Like I've said in the past, I feel like because I wasn't fully prepared to launch, I added a lot more work to my plate, whether it was rebranding or changing up my sticker sheet designs or moving from Etsy to Shopify and back again. It just added a lot more work to my plate than was really necessary. I mentioned this in my 5 things to do before you launch your online store video, but it also causes a lot of confusion with your customers when you do this, especially when you're rebranding, moving, changing things. You want to be as consistent as you possibly can, so I feel like it definitely did me a disservice. My second mistake, like I mentioned, was switching from Etsy to Shopify and back again and back again. The main reason why my first switch to Shopify didn't work was because I was trying to do both. I was trying to keep my Etsy shop open, but also have my Shopify site up and running. It was just too much work, especially when I was doing so many new releases, adding everything to both websites. It was just so much work. And I really didn't prepare myself to put in the marketing efforts that I needed to get people to start shopping on my Shopify store at the time. So I eventually moved back over to Etsy, and then when that whole fiasco happened with moving to the US, I ended up moving back over to Shopify. And that time it worked a lot better because I didn't post everything on my Etsy store. I still kept it open. I did raise the prices on Etsy a little bit, but I didn't post new stuff on my Etsy store. So it meant that I wasn't doing double the work. I was really mainly focusing on my Shopify store and trusting that that was going to be my main source of income. So if you are on the fence about having an Etsy or Shopify store, I do suggest just picking one and putting all of your time and effort into that one platform, because you're going to stretch yourself too thin. You're going to confuse people. I know a lot of people are really afraid to move off of Etsy because they're going to lose that Etsy search traffic, but really drill into your stats and see how much of your actual traffic Etsy's bringing in from search, and maybe that'll give you some peace of mind. When it comes to business, you really don't want to put too many eggs in different baskets. Like, I also suggest only really focusing on one main social media platform and really growing that. Because if you're stretching all of your efforts to different avenues, you're not going to put in the same level of work and accuracy as you would if you were just focusing on one. If you are on the fence about switching over to Shopify, check out the first comment down below. I'll leave a link to my free crash course down there. Even if you're not ready to switch, go through the crash course, see what it entails to set up a Shopify store, and see if you're ready for it, because I think it would really do your brand some good. My third biggest mistake, and this is specific to the planner sticker shop world, was I wasn't ready to ship. And this is something that haunted me, honestly, for like most of my physical sticker shop life. Not being ready to ship was the biggest struggle. And I know a lot of people think that they should go ready to ship, or they're afraid to go ready to ship and they don't know if they should or not. If you're thinking about it, just do it, because when I was for a very, very short period of time, it was the most amazing thing, and I was so much less stressed, and I don't know why I didn't keep it up. Not being ready to ship and having to work like 15-hour days to get orders out was just so stressful, and there's a different type of stress involved when you're trying to get orders out versus when you're restocking your shop, because you're not necessarily as stretched for time and you're not as prone to error as you are when you're trying to get orders out. So if you are thinking about it, I highly suggest it. Even if you go like semi-ready to ship, it'll make your life so much easier. For those of you who don't know what ready to ship means, essentially what you would do is you would print and cut or make the products that you're selling before you list them on your website. So when they're bought, all you have to do is take them off the shelf and put them in the order envelope. But what I did, what a lot of other planner sticker shops do, is they're made to order. So what I did is I would get orders and I wouldn't be filling one order at a time. A lot of times I was filling, I think I normally did batches of like 20 orders at a time. So the list was just so long, and I would make all of the items from that order and then send out those orders. And it was a lot, and it was really, really stressful. My fourth biggest mistake was that I didn't plan ahead for new releases. And this was something that I envied from other shops, but my brain just wouldn't process that far in advance when I was so stressed working on things in the real time. So honestly, the way I would function is I would go through my Etsy favorites, or I would just search on Etsy or Instagram, and I would find clip art probably like a week or two in advance. I would design everything, and I would be designing up until the last possible second for a new release. And it really limited my marketing capabilities. It meant that I was being overworked right before new releases, plus new releases more than likely brought in more orders, so that I was just gonna continue that overworked sense. It just wasn't the smartest way to run my business. I know a lot of people who would plan their new releases out months in advance, and I was always so envious of those people. But I don't know what it was, whether I got myself in this vicious cycle or I was afraid of FOMO and missing out on beautiful art that was released, but I just couldn't bring myself to do that. And I definitely think if I had done that, my marketing schedule would have been so much easier to put together, and I just would have felt a lot more secure. My last biggest mistake that I made in my business is I let the competition get to my head so bad. I would be scrolling through social media most of the day, looking at the competition, because I was convinced that I had to be on social media to run my business more effectively. And if you set up your social media accounts right and you plan them out, there are ways that you don't have to be on social media 24 hours a day, and your business is still gonna run smoothly. Nobody's gonna forget you exist because you aren't scrolling through and interacting 24 hours a day. But that's what I was doing. I was interacting, I was in people's Facebook groups, I was seeing everything that people were putting out, and it got to me so bad. So if you haven't seen my Get Out of Your Own Head video, definitely go check that out, because I do touch on that a little bit, but it is so important to stay laser focused and stay in your lane when it comes to business. Like I said in that video, there is no point on judging yourself with somebody's chapter 20 when you're on chapter 1. And that's really what I was doing. I would be judging myself on how much I could get done when I was a one-woman show based on a shop that had like 10 employees. So it's really, really important to realize when you're letting the competition get to your head and be able to take a step back and say, okay, hold on, relax for a second. What do you actually need to get done? And like, what are you proud of? Because if you've built this business, you should be so proud of yourself. I don't know how many times I would be designing new releases and I would just let the competition get to my head so bad. I would just end up scrapping it all together because I would just get so stressed and down on myself. And that's not how you want to run your business. Yes, you want to be part of the community that you're a part of, but you don't want to be so a part of it that it's detrimental to your mental health. So if you are feeling those emotions, know that you're not alone. I would say like 75% of business owners feel the same way that you do, but definitely just be able to realize when it's happening to you and be able to take a step back away from it. So those are the 5 biggest mistakes that I made in my business. Let me know if you've made any of them in the comments down below, or if you learned anything from this video. And if you haven't already, be sure to hit that red button or hit my face right here and subscribe so you never miss a video. If you want to keep on learning, you can go ahead and click on any of those 2 videos to my left and you can do just that. So I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you have a great day, and I will see you on my next one. Bye.